And Brian, if you don't mind, before we start, I just want to say one thing. We played the Orlando clip.
Yeah.
I am from Orlando. It's I always had a really hard time growing up in Orlando, and so much of the first book, Fresh Off the Boat, was about how it was very difficult to be an outsider and different in Orlando. There was a very strong, dominant culture, monoculture present in Orlando, and when we went back, we went and we saw the Mickey Ricans, the Puerto Rican people that work near Disney, and they have their restaurants on Goldenrod Road and things like that. We saw my family, and we told my dad's story. We met a Guyanese farmer who farms ducks and chickens and all sorts of vegetables, and we tried to show the diversity of Orlando. But there's still people who are very hateful. They don't want to see diversity. They don't want diversity in their cities. They don't want it in this country. And if you believe in it, if you believe in difference, you got to stand up. You got to fight for it. You got to say something.
But you can't you just say that it's not even, someone might say, oh, that's Orlando, that's backwards Florida man, and hate on Florida. But we can say the same thing here in a metropolitan like Chicago. So
everywhere.
It's not just, Florida. And in that one clip, from the events that happened in the last couple of days with the gun range, there is a positive side to a gun range, and then there is a negative side to it. And then the people in Florida, do you think they hook onto the negative side of it, or hey,
Well, in that scene that we shot, it was to me very negative, and I don't know if you guys have seen the episode. I ended up walking out of the episode. It was, I always take responsibility. 2 producers found that story. I signed off on the story because that is something, that Sausage Castle where those guys go shoot guns. There's a lot of people in Orlando that love it, and they go. And I was like, I'll show things that I'm not necessarily a fan of. So I went, and we tried to do the scene, but as we're doing the scene, it disgusted me. And 2 people almost got shot. My brother almost got shot because one guy fell and his gun pointed up. My brother tried to help him up, and the gun hit him in the face. So that's actually in the blooper reel that they put online. They didn't put it on TV.
Wow.
And then the second part is our cameraman almost got shot. Like, this guy was doing a safety demonstration, turning to try to shoot at the gun. Safety demonstration. And he accidentally fires as the cameraman's walking off screen, walking this way, and he almost shoots our camera. And he was a safety expert there. So, and the casing hit me in the head while he's doing this. So my thing was just like, look, I understand people feel like they have a right to bear arms. I understand that. If you want to keep like a 45 under the mattress, like, I know people that do that. But the assault rifle thing is one I feel like you can't justify.
Yeah.
You absolutely can't justify.
Yeah. I mean, the only, I me being just a comedian, I'm just silly. And I'm like, the only reason someone would need an assault rifle is if there was like Cobra. You know what I'm saying? Like, Like, oh man, we got that Cobra problem. And that's from a G.I. Joe reference. Yeah. There's a Cobra Commander problem, so you got to have something to defend yourself.
Yeah.
We don't have that.
Yeah. No, G.I. Joe's not showing up to our door. They're not showing up to the chop shop. They're not coming to Orlando.
Let's talk about, I first met you, 2 years ago. We did an Ideas Week talk. That was before the TV show came out. I was just exposed to you.
Yeah.
Do you think in the last 2 years, things have gone from 0 to 60? Or 0 to 100?
Yeah.
Drizzy style.
And actually, the prologue of the book deals with that. The prologue of the book is written, I went to NBA All-Star Weekend right after Fresh Off the Boat the book came out. So I was in Houston, I was chilling, and then I ate these edibles, and I kind of like, I had a panic attack.
A body high?
Edibles, yeah, and it's very full circle. You read the prologue. My homie in Houston, he had 2 AR-15s in the living room, and I was arguing with him about it the whole time. So then I start eating these edibles, and I trip out, and then I start bugging out, having a panic attack, really yelling at him about gun control. And that's actually how the book starts. So the fact that everything happened, and then we're here, I was just like, man, we have to say something tonight. Because I usually don't stump politically.
Yeah. I
write. I'm much more into, I'm really into the belief that we're a lot more similar than we are different. So I try not to buy into politics or pour more gas on that fire. But this is one of those moments where I feel like it is appropriate to be like, yo, we need this law, you know?
Yeah.